Okay, team, welcome to another episode of G Mentions TV. Today we'll be talking about self-assurance. The topic of this YouTube is the captain of the ship. So, if you ever been on a ship, the ship is pretty much set sails by a captain. So, one person is in charge of the entire ship. That person is very important to the ship and pretty much has full control of that ship. I often refer to my friends as, captains. What's up, captain? And it's not just a figure of speech, but it's a mind state, right? So you have to be the captain of your ship, okay? I'm talking about you, right? Be the captain of yourself. Sorry, I'm a little comfortable, right? I got my comfortable shirt and clothes on. I'm trying different things. I hope y'all liked the last episode. I tried to change it up just a tad. My 14-year-old, she's giving me pointers on how to make my videos a little bit, a little bit better. Dad, use the wide angle. Blah, 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 so put the phone sideways, things like that. So I'm actually enjoying myself doing this, but I'm also taking it all in. So back to the topic, okay? The captain of the ship. So the captain of the ship holds command and the responsibility of the vessel, right? I don't know if y'all ever been on a cruise ship where they'll say, they'll let all the passengers know the captain changed the course to go around the storm or something like that. Again, it shows that he has full responsibility of everybody that's on the ship. So as he sets sail or as he charts the waters, he sits down and he studies that course. So he really gives it deliberate thought of the direction that he will travel to achieve his destination. And it's very important in our lives that we sit down, and again, y'all heard me talk about planning and making visions and writing stuff down and making sure everything is quantifiable to the level of achievement, right? So that's very important to study the direction that you're going, okay? And again, remember that you are the captain of your ship. The captain of the ship decides the speed of that vessel. Again, if he goes fast, he burns more fuel, right? If he goes slow, he doesn't burn as much fuel. So again, in your lives, apply that to your lives. You are the captain of your ship. Everything does not have to be a rat race, okay? Everything you don't have to have expectations of this has to be done right now. And I'm gonna work myself to the ground until I draw blood until it's done. No, that's not the case. So make sure that you know that you are in control of your ship and you decide its speed and its course. And I'm in the fire world, we have a section called hazmat, which was one of my favorite sections of my job. Actually, because a lot of people are not aware of the different aspects of it. It was a big deal around September 11th when the towers fell. Was knowing hazardous materials response and things like that. And we would always talk about the manifest. Okay, so you have there are different names for them. However, everybody knows the common term. What's on your manifest? A truck driver has a manifest. The boating industry, they call it a seaway bill, and then the air bill for the airlines. But anyways, so each conveyance has a manifest, and they have to know. Whoever is controlling that vessel has to know what's on board. So it's very important that, again, you being the captain of your ship, you know what's on board. I always see people walk around all the time, and you can see whatever is on board is here, right? Because everybody's dealing with something. it's here recently, I've heard a lot of people jump on that on the wagon of it's COVID, and you got to be a little bit nicer, you got to be a little bit more compassionate and show empathy and things like that. And actually, we should have been doing that a long time ago, right? Because people deal with a lot of things. And but again, going back to the manifest, right? You wanna approve what you're taking on, right? Because you are in control. What do you want to take on as responsibility? You are in control of that. I've had to make some hard decisions in my life about what I would take on in my life. Yeah, it's easy. We get wrapped around emotions and we make some emotional decisions. And I'll do a segment on decision making also, but we make a lot of emotional decisions and there's no rationale in it, right? Whether it's buying a new vehicle or falling in love and those types of things, and there's no rationale in it. But I'll do a segment on decision making, but make sure that you're aware of what's on your manifest, okay? And don't allow anything that you don't want to be on that manifest to be on that manifest, because again, you are in control of that ship. You are your ship's captain, right? The good thing and the bad thing about you being in control of your ship is you float with the ship, right? The ship is succeeding. The ship is doing well. You're doing well, right? On the other side of that, you also what do captains do? Traditionally, they float with the ship and they sink. They go down with the ship. Okay, so it's y'all know I always say it's very important, right? Because I'm passionate about everything that I'm sharing with y'all, but it's okay to go down with the ship. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is because when you go down with the ship, you show ownership. You're showing ownership. Hey, I screwed up. Hey, this didn't work. Hey, I admit it was my fault, or it was my decision, or it was my mistake. So again, being faithful to you, and again, accepting the manifest, and accepting and taking the credit for the good things in your personal life, and also accepting and apologizing if need be for the screw ups in your life. Okay, so so as we kind of went over the aspects of a captain, right? Aspects of a ship, boat captain, ship captain. I have some friends that own boats. I have just fishing boats to charter boats to you name it kind of boats. I have friends that are in that world. And but I ask you, who is in charge of your ship, right? Who is in charge of your ship? I know at one of my lowest points, I didn't know who was in. I didn't know who was dictating what I did and how I did it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me at the time, but I had to identify with that and work on that for me. But I hope that it's you, and maybe you're like, well, what is that? What do you mean, G? What are you saying? Who's in charge of my ship? Ask yourself, hey, a decision that should be made by you, are you making that decision, or does somebody else have to make it for you? Whether, if, for example, you want to buy some shoes, okay? If you want to buy some shoes for you, you are, and you're in a position to buy the shoes, and I'm talking about financially capable, mentally stable, and to make those type of decisions, and you find yourself asking for approval or for permission or whatever, you may need to question, hey, am I really in charge of my ship? Am I in charge of myself? Maybe it's time, maybe you want to take a trip, or you want to do whatever. and you, again, being an adult with your resources, and in like manner, of course, of whatever type of relationship or whatever you got going on, but can you make those decisions? Can you get the buy-in from that spouse or whatnot, to proceed in your desires, right? Because again, it goes back to being the captain of the ship. My wife, she says often to me that, you just do what you want to do. You do what you want to do, and and that's not the intent. But it was a time in my life before, that I didn't actually do what I wanted to do, and I was just doing whatever I had to do or whatever was requested of me to do, right? I didn't really make any, wasn't making any decisions. I wasn't, not to say I was just being a speed bump, but I was definitely not the captain of my ship, okay? So it's very important. And if you find yourself in that position, just regain control, regain control of yourself, regain control of those decisions that you want to make in life. And you ask, well, okay, how do I regain control, G? Like, what does that look like, right? Maybe just saying no. Like, if it's something that you don't want to do, don't do it, right? Explain why you don't want to do it and just don't do it. Like, hey, no, I don't want to do this today. I want to do this, okay? And again, I'm not saying being vindictive or anything like that, but a lot of times we say yes to things we don't want to do just to please someone else, right? Or we may say we agree to something that we don't agree with, right? In the workplace or at home, right? Just to avoid that conflict or avoid that explanation piece. But it's very important that if you don't agree with something and you don't want to do something, hey, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do, okay? And again, always give it. I say give an explanation only because it's okay why you don't want to do it, right? Because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you you, and that's what makes me. Is saying, hey, this is why I don't want to do it. Okay, I tell my wife a lot that I believe that my time is precious, and I work all day or whatever, and I give. I try to give 110% to outside of my household. I say the world, but outside of my household. And when I come home and I watched a video, it's been some years ago on this, that when you pull up to your house after work and you put that car in park, right? When you pull up to the house after work, you put the car in park. Guess what? Now you're on your own time, and what are you gonna do with that time? Okay. And what I'm getting at is, if it's something that you want to do with your family, right, that's beneficial and things like that, you do that with your family. Because I know I'm bouncing around to my other episodes, but you have to balance family time, work time, and things like that. So you have to analyze the things that you want to do and the things that you don't want to do. Okay, so it's okay to say no. And then in the same breath, we talked about manifest. Okay, and I'll kind of goes a little bit further into that no, because I don't want y'all to assume I'm talking about one thing or another. That's why a lot of my topics are very broad, because I found that they apply to a lot of different areas in life. But maybe you say no because, hey, we can't afford it. Okay, I was on a simple note, I was talking about time, right? If your time is sensitive and you don't want to do something with your time, you say, nope, I don't want to do it, okay? Or I can readjust and reconstruct and do something different to make, you know, the desire meet. However, back to the manifest piece is what I'm referring to now. If you know you're in a financial situation already that's kind of restricted and is strained and it's causing you stress, again, that's part of your manifest. Okay, and then if you're being asked to do something else on top of that, it's going to cause more stress and it's going to cause more weight on the ship, right? Again, it's your ship. You decide to manifest. You decide what you take on, okay? Again, if you know it's something that you can't do, you need to say no. Nope, I can't do it. Because it may be hard to say no at first, but it's an easier process once you say no, because you know the weight that you can carry, and you just can't carry all the weight. You can't, like I said, you can't if you can't afford something, and again, it kind of goes with time, money, energy, commitment, right? If you cannot afford to do those things, if you can't afford to commit to something else on your manifest, you can't afford to pay X, Y, and Z for this, or buy this, or go on this trip, you gotta say, hey, I can't, no, I can't, you know, I'm sorry. You know, because again, what are you trying to keep stable? Your mental capacity. You can only take on so much, okay? And again, I've learned this numerous times, and I'll share some of those things with y'all. I filed for bankruptcy, right? And you know, of course, it was a stressful time, but that was the biggest no I ever made. But when I made that no, you talking about a weight? You talking about, you know, stressed out, trying to pay payroll, trying to, you know, do this. I got people calling me all night with my family in the house, threatening me and things like that. And when I wash my hands of that stuff, and I tell people all the time, I know I'm jumping around again, but when you talk about being an entrepreneur, just know, depending on what level, you know, a lot of people just want to have a job they can do by themselves and things like that. But once you step to another level and you got payroll, you got equipment, you got insurance, and things like that, it can take a toll on you mentally. And again, it's you know, I used to go to the banks to get business loans. You know, I got an LLC, and you know, I got all this stuff structured. I got $1 million insurance policy, and all this stuff is structured. But guess what? It's a personal liability. So they write the loans on the personal liability. Okay. So again, your personal manifest. What are you willing to put on your manifest? And I you know, I tell people all the time, I said, you know, I would rather work at the time in my life, I would rather work a 9 to 5 and walk out of work, no responsibility, high five the guy that's replacing me, and go home to my family and just wait on my check on the 1st and 15th than to deal with what I was personally dealing with. And you know, I tell people all the time, it's about, and I'm not saying, I'm not talking against entrepreneurship, and I'm not talking against owning your own business and this and that, but personally, I know you take that on, you take that weight on. So the no can be shared in, hey, that's not the best idea, or that's not, hey, that's your idea, this is my idea, let's meet in that middle. So that's another way. You're not saying no, but you are standing for yourself, saying, hey, this is really not the best choice that we have in this matter. So again, there are a lot of different ways to, again, if you have lost control, to regain that control. Okay. I tell you, you know, I talk about my wife a lot. I love her, but I've learned a lot with her. You know, she always she holds me to a standard, right? So she'll say, hey, what's the plan? Right? So she's expecting me to drive the ship. And I like that she asked me, hey, what's the plan? Hey, what are we planning? What's the plan? What is your plan? Because it keeps me on course, and it keeps me visualizing and providing that guidance. That again, I do it at work all the time. I do it at work with my eyes closed. But again, what's more important, and where should I have to balance that manifest and that energy and that focus. Okay, so and then also say yes. We talked about saying no. We talked about keeping that control, but say yes. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. Hey, I'm thinking about this, and a lot of things. And especially dynamics of a family. Things change, right? Priorities change, and sometimes you do have to put yourself on the back burner for certain things. But at the same time, you can't allow that to steer your ship, because you have to remain in control of that ship. If it's something that you want to do, you have to make sure you do it, because no one else is going to push you to do it. Okay, you're not going to get the motivation from anyone else. I know when I be honest with y'all, I've thought about doing this YouTube channel for like 3 years, and I think y'all saw that in the other video. And it took me so long to actually do it. Of course, I'm worried about what people are gonna say, and all that kind of stuff, and the dedication, the time that it takes to do it, because it does take time to edit the videos, but it's fun, once you actually get into it. But if it's something that you want to do, it may not make sense to anybody. I may get one like or one view or something like that. And again, I'm not fueled by a like, a view, a monetization, or the money side of YouTube. I'm not that was never my intent. Again, if it comes, it comes. But right now, I have a lot of topics to share with y'all. But the yes is very important, as well as the no. Okay, and my experiences, everybody has their own experiences and their own family dynamics, but a lot of times, sometimes, in my experience, what I've seen is the men or the women that I come in contact with, they're not in control of their ship. Like, they're not in full control of that ship. As men, we're Mr. Fix-Its, right? So, we get a phone call. We get a phone call from the job. We get a phone call from our rental property or our wives or whatnot. And then what do? Well, we drop everything we're doing. We wife called, something happened at the house. I gotta go, right? Not saying that you shouldn't do that. Again, I'm saying that mindfully, you have to stay in control of that ship. Hey, can that wait? I know a guy, he took off work just to take the trash out, take the trash to the road, So again, you have to make sure that you're balancing those priorities right, and you're doing what you want to do, and what you've set out to do, and what you're expecting out of what you want to do. So I could probably go on and on about being the captain of your ship. Being the captain of your ship is very, very important to your mental capacity. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I really thank y'all for supporting me, those that have done so already. I encourage y'all to like the videos, share the videos, and subscribe to the videos. Because again, I love my friends and my family. However, I'm trying to reach your friends. so my intent is not for this to be, as you see, I call this G Mentions Worldwide for a reason. On my blog site, I have connections in Australia, right? So I love y'all, but again, please share it. Please share it on on your different social platforms, social media platforms, and things like that. Subscribe. I understand you don't want to subscribe because then you get the dings and your phone pops up all the time. But again, you can subscribe and mute. You didn't hear that from me. But I do it all the time, right? I'm always supporting people, but I don't like my phone dinging. Again, I'll tell y'all this and I'm done. But it just brought up another aspect of being the captain of your ship. I have a friend, mentor, love him to death. I'll call him, typically he doesn't answer. Sometimes he does answer his phone, but I don't mean anything. That's just me. I give him a hard time. Like, man, I call you, you don't answer, things like that. So when I said, normally he'll say the same thing every time. He said, man, I own this phone. This phone don't own me. I pay the bill on it. It ain't paying the bill for me. And it's as silly as that may sound, again, it goes back to, hey, you are the captain of your ship. You don't have to drop everything and answer your phone. You don't have to, I know that might sound crazy to some people, but again, you are the captain. Like, you are in control of you, right? You decide what you do. And again, you can link all these topics up to everything that I'm saying. It's going to mesh, right? Because we're talking about self-health, right? Talk about deliberate relationships. Again, that's you being in control of that ship. It's you being in control of what you pursue, right? And knowing that, the decisions that come behind your deliberate pursuit. So, again, like, share, subscribe, and also focus, flex, and drive. Peace.